Hey guys, welcome to the fourth episode of my show. This is Bilal Hamid, and this episode is actually recorded for Behind the Grind podcast by Asad Hashim Ali. And this happens to be a simultaneous release of his podcast and the same episode on my podcast. His podcast is Behind the Grind, and I'll be linking that in the description. So give it a listen. He's got a couple of episodes out already. He does some really cool stuff. And this was really his interview for me and him trying to find out what's going on in my life and my history. And it's a long interview, but it's been fun recording it. I hope you guys have as much fun listening to it. But if not, at least you find something useful in it that you can use for your life. Thank you and have a listen. Ciao.
2.
On the second episode of Behind the Grind, I sat with Bilal Hamid, a mentor of mine, someone who I really look up to, and someone who's an ed entrepreneur. He set up 3 schools in the past and has also created an online platform to spread his content for A-level chemistry across the world. Bilal is now working on creating an online platform for all subjects related to the A-levels, and eventually he wants to disrupt the education industry in Pakistan. Not only that, but we spoke about what motivates him, how his daughter is actually a source of inspiration for him to bring about a positive change, and also about why he's just so caught up in making sure that he's principled and he's a man of his word.
What's going on, everybody? Asad Hashim Ali back with another episode of Behind the Grind, the podcast where I sit with people who I think I can learn from, people whose grind I admire, people whose hustle I admire, and people who I just think are on the right track and who are trying to change the game with whatever game they're actually in at the moment. Our second guest of the show is my mentor, Mr. Bilal Hamid. What's up?
Woohoo.
Woohoo. All right. So let me flatter you a little bit before we get into the questions.
Sure.
This is like another episode of Hard Talk, you know. I forgot the host, but
No, they grill him.
Yeah?
I thought you were going to be sweet with me today, man.
No, I will. I'll try to. All right. So
it's called soft talk then.
soft talk.
Sir.
Both of us are soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fluffy talk.
I know. This is a family show, Asad.
This is a family show? All right.
All right.
No cussing. So, Bilal Hamid is a computer science major from Rutgers University in New York. He is a global chemistry teacher after he started his YouTube channel where he managed to teach kids chemistry, A-level chemistry. He had students watching in onto his channel from Cambodia, India, Pakistan, even Canada and the States. He's an ed entrepreneur. He's started 4 tuition centers in the past, 3 schools, and also is creating an online initiative for secondary education, actually A-level education. He's also out to bring a change in Pakistan. Fun fact about him, he's a photography and film buff, and he's someone who just enjoys his tech gear, and you would have all the USB dongles that people didn't even know existed. And yeah, that's Bilal Hamid. So let's get straight into it. So पहले आप सही से बताएं.
Ji, sir.
What is your favorite coffee to have?
Favorite brand or favorite type of coffee?
Favorite coffee drink.
Okay.
itself.
Favorite coffee drink. Well, actually, my first coffee of the day has to be a caramel macchiato, double shot.
Skim milk.
Well, preferably and less milk. Yeah, the ratio has to be right.
Yeah.
Karachi Butlers as well. And I travel, then it's a Starbucks with a triple shot. Their
Triple
coffee is
shot.
a little weaker.
Yeah. Starbucks, you got to up your game.
I know.
All
Sorry.
right.
Yeah.
Say it.
But Cafe Nero works also.
Cafe Nero.
Yeah, and before that, the other beans that I like my beans over roasted. So they have less caffeine, but they have a richer flavor.
Over roasted.
Yes, dark roasts
Okay.
versus lighter. Lighter roasts have more caffeine, but they are
Subtler. The flavors are more
you can
subtler,
feel
right?
more. You can probably taste the milk more.
Okay.
I don't like milk.
All right.
Yeah.
You used to have a lot of Americanos at one point, right?
Yes.
Then what happened?
I don't know. I fell in love with cappuccinos.
All right.
Yes. Finally had a good one at Cafe Nero, and that tilted in my favor.
Say it.
And then the caramel macchiato Butlers was love at first drink.
Okay.
I swear to God.
Great. See, the hardest question is out of the way.
That's the hardest. Okay. We are out.
So, sir, you
Yeah.
have...
No, sir. I told you about sir.
Sahab.
Sahab, Janab is more
Ustad.
preferred. Janab.
Bilal
आपको
भाई.
मैंने पढ़ाया नहीं है तो उस्ताद नहीं हुए. Bilal भाई और उस्ताद.
Bilal bhai, you grew up all across Pakistan. And,
Not much. Not too
no?
many places.
Not too many places. Where were you
Islamabad
exactly?
and Karachi.
And how come the whole shift? You were even in New York for like 5th grade or 6th grade. So I'll tell me a little bit about your family background.
Yeah, my dad. I'm sorry. My dad was in the US. Oh, sorry. Let me repeat. My dad was in the Navy, and so we had to move between Karachi and Islamabad. Now, Pakistan Navy is posted only mainly 2 places.
Okay.
Now they go to, I believe, Gwadar also and
Right.
a couple other places. But pehle mainly there was Karachi and Islamabad. So started in Karachi. I was born in the island of Manorda. So we should
Really?
travel by boat back and forth. My mom tells me that I was born and came back by boat to our little island.
Ah,
Yeah, so Manoda, Karachi, Islamabad, Karachi.
sounds like an Indian movie.
Well, could be.
Yeah.
My long lost brother and Amitabh Bachchan,
Like long lost Dada in your case. He's a little older to be a brother.
Not Dada, but okay, that's true. Okay, yeah. So from there, 5th grade, I had to go to the US. Actually, my dad was posted there, and then my Mamu said, they were based in New York. So one of them said, why don't you guys also come over? Spend a year in New York, but dad's in the Navy in Philadelphia. Philly is like 2 hours away from New York. So we went there, and for a whole year, I was enrolled in a public middle school, like primary school, middle school, half a year in middle school, half a year in primary school. So 5th grade, half of that it was in a public school, and obviously half of 6th grade. And then I came back to Karachi, then I studied here, and then I went back to college in New York again. So New York was the place. So basically 3 main cities: Islamabad, Karachi, New York.
So when you were in Karachi, what school did you start off at?
Okay, well, first grade was St. Paul's. Then I went to Islamabad, so that was Beacon House.
Okay.
Then I came back in 2nd grade to Beacon House again in Karachi.
Asad.
So then 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade in Karachi, Beacon House.
Yeah.
Then 5th grade in the middle of the year went to New York. So it was PS5. Then 6 months later IS7. And IS7 came back to Karachi. Then went to St. Paul's. Then for A-levels went to KGS.
Yeah.
And then went to university. The first was... So I did a couple of years at CUNY, City University of New York.
Yeah.
Then transferred to Rutgers in New Jersey. And then the last 2 years there.
Say
Yeah.
All right. So like, what was your experience like throughout all these different schools? You in Pakistan itself? I moved here in 2005, so I know the system at Beacon House, then Bayview High, then Lyceum, and different experiences throughout. But then at that young of an age, did you manage to spot anything different about the different schools themselves, like from Paul's and KGS and Beacon?
Well, I don't remember much of my life before 5th grade.
Okay.
I remember one kid hitting me in the face with a cricket bat in class 4. That's
Sounds
all
like
I
fun.
remember. Yeah, I was right above my nose.
Oh,
so,
damn.
There's a flat bat.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This was the Beacon House in Clifton campus in near Kent.
I was there too.
Right next to the church.
Yeah. Shape se pehle jaata hai.
Bilkul.
Right.
Beautiful place.
Huh.
Great place. I had a great time there. So the differences, I started noticing after 5th grade.
Yeah.
The US was the public high school or public middle school was awesome. Like I learned computers there for a year, cooking.
Yeah.
My appreciation of theater, literature in 5th grade, sciences, math. Like I was like acing it without even doing anything. It was just awesome. Before that, I was also acing in Pakistan. But then when I came back to 6th grade in St. Paul's, I didn't realize St. Paul's had something different. There was a metric system and the Cambridge system.
Yeah.
And apparently, I didn't score well in the Cambridge system, even though I was better than 99 percentile results in America. Apparently, our exams don't match, or the knowledge doesn't match. So what we did was they put me in metric for 3 months. They said if you do well there, then we put you in Cambridge. But it's a very stupid thing to do, because if you can do well in metric, you stay in metric. If you do well in metric, it means that you don't have the aptitude for Cambridge, because in metric everything was rata rata rata. Literally, Sindhi rata, like everything was like, the more you write, the better you are. I'm like, and then I was awful there. But then finally shifted to Cambridge, a couple of years, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade were bad for me. Like from being always first in my class for about 7 years, 6, 7, 8 was like really crap. I was like 15 to 28. Like that was really bad for somebody like me. I just couldn't get anything. I just couldn't understand the teachers. They were just... So what happened was in 9th grade, when I finally got one particular teacher that was just like, wow.
Yeah.
And that changed everything.
Do you remember the name?
Yes, obviously I remember the name. Like, he was my chem teacher. He actually taught me physics, chemistry, and bio in 9th grade. And then chemistry in 10th grade, 11th grade, first year, second year, A-levels also. I went to him for tuitions. His name was Nicholas Jonathan. His name is still Nicholas Jonathan. He is now retired and living in Sri Lanka. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he was the bomb.
He was the bomb.
The
He's
shit.
the Bilal Hamid at that time.
Yeah, he got the big fat glasses, and it's pretty fun with his class, man. And it just, the way he was teaching clicked with me. Though I would say this, that if you were not good, he would be really insulting. I understand that. Some of my friends really didn't like his classes, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Because he liked kids who were smart. So like just clicked, and everything was great from there. So when I went to college, he was surprised I was actually not doing chemistry or engineering.
Really?
Yeah.
And then did he convince you to do otherwise?
No.
No.
I just didn't listen to anybody,
Oh, this is in college.
I wanted to do computer science.
Right.
So I was going to uni. He was surprised that I didn't take an engineering or a science major. Yeah, I just did computer science.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, so that's a whole different experience than what schooling is now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now you are actually, I'll close this right now.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Let's.
I thought you had some questions for me.
I do, and they're gonna be coming to me. I don't need that anymore. If I follow that, then I think I'll just be.
I'm just using this for beauty light. You know?
yeah. I don't need
This.
it. I don't need that light. But
No. Okay.
no, but so you are now after. Okay, let's talk about actually after university, and then I'll come
After.
back into your childhood experiences of school.
Okay. Yeah. Well. that
After
was
university, what you came back and you got straight into teaching, correct?
No.
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 What was that?
I came back, and I went back to work. I started working as a programmer.
Right.
Yeah, and I was kind of bored. I even thought I'll take a couple of, because in Pakistan the computer science area was not developed much. So my job was paying me $5,000, 5,000 rupees a month.
And this
At that
is
time.
what, 2003?
2002, 3 that I started teaching. So then I was like, let me get a second degree. Now our university system is so inflexible that to get a second bachelor's, you have to start all over again at that time.
Right.
So when credits transfer nahi hote, uni maine kaha, I'll study a second bachelor's, get some courses and get transferred out or something else. I just love studying because what was happening was that I had done one whole degree in one area,
Right.
and in my last year, I fell in love with something else. And I wanted to now pursue that because when I was leaving America, my professor, who was also at Princeton, UPenn, was offering me that he could get me into a PhD program and funded and everything if I were to stay with him and do his work with him and all that stuff. And that was in the area of Islamic studies or Middle Eastern studies and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but I had done my computer science bachelor's. So I really wanted to study again. I had to come back because of family emergencies and other stuff. And I thought for the first year or so that I'm here temporarily only.
Right.
So might as well study also. So I was working and I thought I went to CBM for 2 months. And that was a very unpleasant experience. Not because of the campus, but because of the people running that place, the teachers in that school who really were more interested in if you listen to them than you learning anything.
Right.
So if you were defying them but learning, they didn't like that. But if you didn't learn but were following orders, they preferred that. It felt like I was in
some boot camp or something.
Yeah, like the Navy or the Army, like just follow this. So anyway, so quit that. Then a year later I got into teaching. Yeah. About 6 months later. Yeah.
So, and you started off with DAPS, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I started out going from kids' houses to houses. My friend used to teach, and I was like, yeah, dude, I'm not making much money in computer programming.
Yeah.
And I used to go to Korangi. So the company was Cypher Technologies, is run by Abdullah and Adnan. And then I started teaching in the evenings.
Okay.
Because otherwise, a single guy, we'd stay back in the office and play some computer program game. It was some game about.
It was Counter-Strike.
No. This is pre-CS days.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Delta
पहले भी
Force.
उसका- Delta Force. Okay.
Yeah, one shot you're dead.
कभी
by the
नहीं
way.
खेला.
Yeah, because one shot you're dead. You don't get second chances. Anyway, so
That's life. That is no, not really. You get second chances. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. So I started teaching tuitions, going to kids' houses, literally. And after doing that for about a couple of months, I started loving it. I was like, hey, I like teaching. And the money was almost 8-10 times.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, hey, I got to feed my mom.
Yeah.
My younger siblings had to go to school. So I was like, screw that job. I can't live off my mamu's help for too long. So.
कभी doubt नहीं हुआ आपको उस पे? Now I see teaching has become a very sexy job, a very sexy occupation because of people like you after Nixor and Cedar popping up. Us time pe to there were no schools like that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there were none.
But
now being a cool teacher is like everybody's a cool teacher generally.
Yeah.
At my time it was like, hey, you can speak fluent English. Yes, we like you. In many schools it's like, not all, yes, but many. In A level especially, and especially sciences and other areas. Now, yes, but every friend or every friend's parent or everybody in the community or neighborhood say, अच्छा तो आप अभी पढ़ा रहे हैं, but अच्छा इसके बाद आप करेंगे क्या? Like what's the real deal?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm enjoying this, I'm making money. Why does it have to be anything else? Like, why not this? So it was a lot of doubters pehle. But if you ask me,
Yeah.
I never sat down and thought, yeah, when you're a doer, you do it and it works. You don't think, oh, what if it didn't work? Well, you're doing it and it's working.
Yeah, so you don't have to think of the alternative.
Exactly. You don't have to think, oh, I mean, is it going to work out? You tried it, it worked. You move on. You don't work, you modify, you move on. And this is exactly this. I mean, like, that's the kind of skill that you'll notice a lot of computer programmers have. They can't say, they won't say take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Like, it is a program, solve the problem. First of all, every problem is solvable. You've got to create something from nothing, and you'll start it, and if you make a mistake, fix that. Bug detection, yahi hota hai. You find a bug, you fix that, you find the next thing, and eventually you will fix everything.
Right.
So there's no doubt that you don't get to a point. Everything is doable.
Right.
Maybe, certainly not having money, that's different, but everything else is doable. I don't know. I never had that problem of trying to figure out, what if this didn't work out? It didn't work out. No, program didn't work out. I tried it, didn't work out. I tried teaching, worked out.
Okay. So how have the past 10 years been for you? Past 10 years, and I'm trying to get at to your step into ed entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Well, I think after my first year of teaching, I'd set up a center, and I love being my own boss. I realized that a couple of bosses in my life, or I just didn't have fun having good bosses. Sci4, they were amazing. Adan and Abdullah were smart, great people. But generally, everybody was bitching about, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Complaining about bosses and, like how you have to stay late to show them. I love the fact that I could be my own boss.
Yeah.
Pelas tuition center banaya, you're on your own boss. Got through with some other friends, make a second one, make a third one, make a fourth one. And I was like, I like doing my own stuff. So I was always doing my own stuff. And then one day, I don't know how conversations stuck to what and through what. Everybody has their own story about how things start. So I don't know exactly what triggered it, but I remember spending a few days with Nasir Khani. And because he was we used to teach together in South Shore also. And then, I was teaching math at one time also. But then we started hanging out Sham mein. Some days he told me that he wants to make a school. And so he started picking my brain about what to do and, what should I, think about and how do I go about this? And just to pick my brain. Maybe he figured this guy I can talk to. I don't know. And I started talking to him, and then after some time, I just realized I enjoy this. So he would have to just say the word, and I'd be there just to talk about how to set up a school. And we did this for about a year.
It was Nasir Ghani teaching like a lot before you? Did he have a significant amount of experience over you?
Oh, yeah. He was huge.
Yeah.
He was a huge name, big brand name.
Okay.
Yeah. Math, especially on this side of town.
Yeah.
Every single KGS student and mostly probably half of IC was going to him.
Okay.
Yeah, at tuitions. And since South Shore mein, he was the most popular teacher they had at South Shore.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So South Shore had the popular teachers too. But you know what? I didn't say good or bad. I'm just saying he was the most popular. He was the most in demand in South Shore. I'd say that.
Okay.
And so I was just starting out. At that time when he met me, I wasn't very popular. Like I had a few kids. I was making decent money. I was at Bayview and South Shore and CS at that time. Or a year after that, I forgot for a year.
Right.
And I was okay. I was doing well. I knew I'm good. I knew it'll just take some time to get more kids.
Right. And that was the time. That was like the hours you had to be putting in and the effort that you had to be putting in at that time, right?
Yeah, that's true. But the problem is that people in our industry are always when they say putting in the hours, they just crank up the hours they're giving tuitions or classes.
Not the prep, not the behind the scenes.
No. Most of them do some, they just hire people and outsource it, or they'll do some or the other.
Right.
At that time, I remember spending 3 hours a day trying to organize my material, content, and notes, and solutions, and worksheets, and everything. And every day, in and out, and reading, and whatever. Every night I was working, just after classes. 7 o'clock, get off, 7:38 maximum, and just sit down, chill out. And I stopped having other kinds of fun. I was just working on materials.
Your craft.
Chemistry. Yeah, my craft.
It's basically a craft.
At that time, I was teaching math and chemistry, so the work was a doubled.
All right.
When Nixor, I started started helping set up Nixor with Nadeem and Nasir, I finally could focus on one subject.
Right.
Because I had the time then, and I had enough like they gave me enough teaching time on chemistry to not worry about teaching some other subject.
Right.
So I was teaching chemistry there. But it was a whole year of setting up Nixor. That was probably one of my most exciting years of my life.
So when you say set up, what did you do exactly over there?
Obviously they put in all the money. But a lot of times, and they first, me and Nasir, Nasir would hang out with me, discuss with me how to do, he would shoot ideas, I would throw some things at them also. what kind of timetabling, curriculum, website. I did the website, logo design, the admission form, admission portal, the idea of, their logo for the Nixor Sharks and all of that stuff. We sat down and I would pitch it. Obviously, they had to approve, so everything whatever I pitched, they had to approve first. I remember one thing that it was difficult the first week trying to convince Nasir and Nadeem, or Nasir maybe, to actually do early admissions. This concept didn't exist.
Right.
Everybody did admissions after the results came out. Everybody. And I kept pushing at it because I knew the US with the hota tha college mein early admission, regular admission. We applied that to
Nixor.
Nixor. To do that, what we do is that I convinced them कि यार आप ऐसे करो exam से पहले करो admission. Because the biggest competition at that time was Lyceum. We felt that it was only competition, really, truly competition. So it was a good,
and
nice...
all like with no disrespect, but then like KGS is also something that is just 100 years of like.
No, KGS is great, but KGS में मसला क्या है जो बच्चा वहाँ का वो वहीं जाएगा, and they'll take 50 more kids from outside. It's okay. Yes, वो तो जाना है.
तो market share, economically speaking, वो market share वाली बात नहीं आती.
Absolutely. Then they pick some, and that's it. बाकी तो about 800, 9,000 good kids out there every year to be admitted in schools at that time. So I was trying to say that let's cut the rug out of Lyceum's leg, and it was at that time I was also, by the way, at Lyceum, but then in the summer what happened was Mrs. Ahmed didn't like me being teaching at Nixor and Lyceum. So she's like loyalty to the, at that time, then I kind of just let that go. And then I started working with Nixor more because, I was not owning anything at that time, by the way. I was just working for them at Nixor. So what they did was they finally convinced them to do early admissions. And I'm telling you that month of May and June was freaking exciting.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because we got
the initial start.
Oh, but we had the whole year, but towards the end was a lot of fun. The first few months in the year before, we were at Costa every day till 3 a.m. in the morning. Me and Asad and Nadeem would join us, and Ayla Ghani would join us quite a lot. And it was a lot of fun sitting with them, discussing ideas. I felt like I was the youngest guy there, but when they would listen to me and give me that credibility by accepting my points of view or my ideas, then it does, make a big, impact on you. Yeah, so I did that, and then we set that up, and then the months of June and May, it was kind of fun to set it up with them. Yeah, can I take a break for a bit?
Yeah.
Can I come back?
Yeah. And we are back from the break, Mr. Bilal Hamid.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No worries. So you were saying was that the first year was a lot of fun because you were doing everything. You were the youngest individual on the table, and you felt that people were receptive to your ideas as well. And
that was very empowering. It was beautiful, and I had to justify I had to give my reasons and for what I thought about was true or what I believed in.
Right.
But it was fun. And then you had asked me earlier, and I was just thinking in the break that, you know what? People that throw the word entrepreneurial spirit or thinking around. And I realized that, when I decided to let go of my computer science degree from the US to follow a career in teaching chemistry, that's an entrepreneurial type of decision to take. That's a risk.
Yeah.
Same thing starting tuition centers. Same thing didn't caring about what Nixor. At that time, Nixor, when I was setting up Nixor with them, I was just helping them out. There was no agreement. There was an understanding of friends that, we're doing this. Could you help us out? We'd sit there every day at Costa, most days, 9 p.m. to 2, 3 a.m. And I was just doing it because I loved it. Like literally, they didn't owe me anything. And yes, people say, people when you do something for somebody, they owe you. Yes, they could, but you know what? I would still do them if they didn't give me a single rupee. It was so exciting. Then I realized, I love to do things like set up things. From there, I realized, yes, it died down for a while in between. And you know what, you get married and you start thinking life differently, and then you try to settle in, and then you want to calm down in life, rest and teach also tuition. And then maybe I got distracted. Like there was a few years in my life, I would say I was living a pointless. Every day I was just teaching and I was like having fun with my class, but like 3-4 years at Nixor went by after the second year, which just felt like it's life ke saal bhar hai. But ab wahi cheez baar kar rahe ho. There's nothing new happening. And that probably was my most weakest period about my personal growth. Like I was not really doing much about.
How old were you around then?
This was, I started Nixor when I was 29.
Okay.
I mean, helped them start Nixor. Let me correct.
Right.
Helped them start Nixor. I was 29. I was there for about 6-7 years. I lose the math now because I never consciously remember the math because it just makes me feel old.
It's a little hazy.
Yeah. So it was I was with them about 6-7 years. 8 years maybe.
Okay.
No, yeah, 6-7.
You said in between that at that time, your words were, at that time, this is when I didn't own anything.
Yeah.
And so this, I'm a little compelled to ask, was there some equity on the table then at that time?
No. They were very kind to give me some percentage of the business.
Okay.
For not officially, because the paperwork and all that. And I was naive and I was a kid. I didn't care.
Right.
I'd just take anything. They gave me a lot of groups of chemistry, which I loved.
Yeah.
I had some awesome kids. Like some of the best years of my teaching career were at Nixor. Like they were like absolutely fantabulous students. Like awesome. And so I was like, I do this for free, and they would pay me good money for teaching also.
Right.
And so it was like a kind of a win-win that way. And then I get some equity, some profit share, actually. Not equity, I'd say profit share for a year or two. And then I realized that, to maintain this profit share, I had to keep working my ass off at certain hours of the night. And you know what? I realized that I'm not, I think I was enjoying it more Pele than before and afterwards. And they were just like, I would not agree with everything they were doing.
Right.
And that's okay. They have the different philosophies, their damn school. And I had different, and I didn't agree. So I thought, might as well leave that. So I left that. After a couple of years, I left that.
Right.
And I just remained a teacher at Nixor. And they tried to convince me. Let me be fair. They tried to convince me not to give it up. Because think about it. When I gave it up, it was second year. They had 900 students. They knew they were a success.
Right.
For them, it would be beneficial to keep the percentage for themselves.
Right.
But Nadeem tried to honestly convince me to, because he knew that I was a good help for them also, and he knew he was looking out for me also, in a way.
So was there anything that went south in the relationship itself?
Over time, like how distance, because we weren't hanging out after that.
Right.
Because, I'll teach and go, and I'll teach and go, and I'll teach and
There's
go.
like endless nights where you're just like together at Costa or somewhere or the other.
None of that was happening.
That just...
Yeah, and then after some time, it's just like when they realized that, okay, well, it's not the same relationship with Bilal anymore. So people change, and you know what? They found other people who were close to them, and they started working with them, and I just kind of drifted apart. And I wanted to do my own thing. And then, sometimes things don't always work out. Sometimes you don't always have a good relationship with your boss, and maybe the things I didn't like what they were doing, I would sometimes argue. And and then one day we decided to all leave.
Okay.
And it was because we were just like a few of us were not happy, and then I think some are more unhappy than others, but we still wanted to do our own thing.
Right.
And I was like, hey, you know what? It's time. Let's do our own thing. So that's how Cedar came about.
And that's how Cedar came about.
Yeah.
Right. But before Cedar, there was Q.
Yeah, that. We left Nixor. Then we started other schools, and then we started a center first.
Right.
And when we were teaching there, I was like, let's do our own school then also. If you're not happy here and doing other schools, why do we work for other people?
Right.
What Nixor did, why can't we set up our own school? We are teachers, so 6-7 of us. So we set up our own school. That's literally what it was.
I was part of it too.
Yeah, from Q to Cedar.
It's Q to Cedar, phase 8, then block 9.
Block 4 at Q, then
then phase
8, and then block 9.
Yeah. I won't get too into the Cedar story.
Yeah.
Because personally speaking, I think I've also shared a lot on my own Instagram about Cedar, and I personally like to think is that it's my school.
It is.
Because I literally, I was there with you guys. I was just a little kid, but it was fun.
I parallel myself, and I was at Nixor to things that you were doing at Cedar that time, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to do a lot more than that, but you know what? I was very lucky at Nixor. But at Cedar also, hell yeah, it was a lot of fun. The first, the adrenaline rush, it's when you're on baby. Yeah. The first open house, the number of people who showed up. Yeah. I was like, they believe in us? That many? And it was like, and then it was a high like no other high in the world. Yeah. It was awesome. But yes. Yeah, so this is about my personal story, and then Cedar is still continuing with my life right now, and I'm having an awesome time this year. Got teaching about 4 classes. Cut down my load this year,
right?
And because I wanted to focus on the next thing I'm doing, which is the online platform.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, 6 months ago. I mean, I always been pitching this idea to Cedar, also to all the teachers across the city, also, and across other parts, other cities, also. That eventually high quality lectures don't need to be given repeatedly day in day out.
Right.
The most expert people lectures, I'm not talking about not engaging content, but lectures can be recorded one time by the master teachers or the most awesome teachers in any subject, and kids can always view them every day, any day, from anywhere.
Right.
And so didn't realize that people, a lot of people said, oh, it's a good idea. But committing to that idea would mean that they had to give up time and money. Time mainly.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for most people.
Right.
So what happened was that I said, you know what, I got some time now. So 6 months ago, I started teaching online. Ali Anuzada triggered it. I'm doing this. I was like, no. Ali can't be the one doing this. I've been saying this. This is my
baby.
My thing. So he can do this.
But I'm going to start it first.
Or at least I'll show him how it's done.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
Ali. Yeah. So I made sure my videos were as sexy as they could be.
Very Khan Academy like.
I'm sorry, I'd like to think better than Khan Academy, at least in some of them.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Thank you.
Because I thought, honestly speaking, I tried to do Code Academy at one time, not very successfully, but I saw that the visualization itself was a lot swifter with you.
The reason was I literally tried to. I've taken a few MOOCs, these massive online open courses.
MOOCs.
Yeah. The sexy buzzword that was pretty common about 5 years ago or two. So Udacity ho gaya, Coursera ho gaya, Udemy now. And so when you see them deliver their lectures, and I chose the easiest and the best I could do from them.
Right.
And I was like, for 6 months, I think this was Feb end to May.
Right.
I just was working 6 hours for a 1 hour video every day. So I would churn out videos. Ended up churning out about 150 videos. Some were class lectures, some were recorded separately that required a lot of prep work.
Yeah.
So did that, got a lot of views for. This was, by the way, just for A-level chemistry.
Yeah.
And mainly the new videos for AS chemistry, A2 were class recordings and some new videos. And then after doing this for a few months, and that was my trial to see if the market is ready for this. And honestly, the feedback that from these kids, I had emails and messages on YouTube from kids from India, Saudi Arabia, UK, South Africa, teachers from South Africa, literally.
Teachers from South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Saying thank you for making this.
Yeah, because because what I did was I didn't just make videos. I made the video, I put all my video and notes and worksheets on a platform, an online course platform, and put it out there for free.
Really?
Yeah. So I got about 1 million minutes watched in the last 3 months.
All on YouTube.
1 million minutes of chemistry. I didn't think people would like chemistry that much, but apparently
clearly they do.
Or they want grades.
Yeah.
That's okay. And I was trying to give them what they needed.
Right.
And set up an online course. About I think 800 kids signed up for the course itself, which is also free, but it was just videos plus the whole content and everything.
Right.
And all my kids at school were using it, and then they tell me that the friends at Nixor and Lyceum were using it, and then Lahore bhi ho gaya, Islamabad bhi ho gaya, or obviously about 70% of viewership was Pakistan. So there was 35% was not Pakistan in the last 3 months. So that was also awesome.
Now, so with 70% in Pakistan, पूरे पाकिस्तान में तो बहुत tuition और coaching का culture है.
Yeah.
So you basically disrupted that.
I would love to this be the platform where kids who can't afford school and tuition to be able to use this, because not everybody can afford tuition, not everybody can afford high and A-level schools.
So now when you say that, you with the Navy background, going around Pakistan to the States, coming back, what are some and even now YouTube is free.
Yeah.
Without आपको बस data चाहिए, थोड़ा सा super card लगा लें आप phone पे, चल जाएगा.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do now? What is that next step? You are not someone who can sit tight.
So I am I'll tell you what the next step is.
I'm a little excited. That's it.
The next step is and this is the next step is setting up an online academy.
Right.
The idea is that it's an online learning platform for A-levels and O-levels. This year the goal is A-levels because that's my market that I'm already in.
Yeah.
And then going on to O-levels.
Right.
And A-levels and O-levels for not just chemistry, but chemistry, physics, bio, math, economics, computer science, these subjects at least. For now, these teachers have committed from these subjects. I had to hire some.
Yeah.
And some committed their time.
So you've invested in this as well.
Oh, yeah. A lot of money.
So you basically... Okay. Now... How does the economics of this work? Where you are...
Just, I don't know. I just spend money on things that I think are important, and then somehow the money gets back to me.
Really?
Yeah. Because you said time is money, so it's literally, people spend their time also on things.
Yeah.
I would spend hours on Nixor. I invested, if you could quantify that as a value, I invested 6 hours a night or 5 hours a night for about a year.
Yeah.
Do that math, and I got percentage for it. So I invested time and I got equity in a sense. Here, I'm going to invest my money and my time and others' time.
Yeah.
and somehow or the other,
It'll come back.
He'll come back. Look, I believe that this is going to happen. Now, eventually, maybe 5-10 years from now, everybody will be just literally using videos online. The problem is we all need to also make a living. And eventually, 10 years from now, maybe I will make a living from this online.
Yeah.
But the market has to be ready first. If you want the market to pay for something right now, at least they should be engaged in the market on a free first also. People like in the industry abroad or internationally, people are willing to pay for stuff now online because वो बहुत इस्तेमाल भी कर रहे हैं, especially America. But Pakistan has, this industry, especially education, is not even leveraging technology yet.
Yeah.
I want to hook them onto technology first, right?
Yeah.
Khan Academy did that, and Khan Academy is a non-profit, but they survive, they get funding, they get money, they then open the people partner with them for their curriculum to be used in countries like Peru and Panama and America, California में schools इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं उनका official content, उनसे उनको पैसे भी देते हैं. So you do something good, you will find a way to make money. I'm already making money from Cedar. It's not like I'm not.
Yeah.
I teach at Cedar. I'm a director at Cedar. I'm a shareholder at Cedar.
Yeah.
I have started tuitions again because I want to teach kids also. And so those who can afford my time will come and see me in person, take my tuitions, pay me some money. I'll make money that way. And this is the thing I do. And I put some of my money that I make aside to this. And it's a big chunk of my money. But this year I decided to put that through use.
But you also say is that you are working on A-level content for the time being.
Yeah.
When do you feel that, when do you feel that content will actually be able to disseminate into all socioeconomic backgrounds in Pakistan? Because currently the A-level market itself is already so minute.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're not really targeting all the entire youth of the country as well.
You see the problem, Asad, we don't like to admit it because it's our bread and butter, but like if you ask me, now that I have a daughter, I can be more introspective. Learning A-level chemistry is the most, I'm sorry, but learning most A-level subjects are of no use to most kids in life. So, अगर वो A-levels हो या O-levels हो या metric या inter हो, जो वो चीज़ें पढ़ाई जाती हैं, उसका कोई, some might say, but mostly कोई ताल्लुक ही नहीं है life से. Yes, some might become doctors and they might learn some chemistry and medicine and biology, and I understand that. But that's a few. That's not the majority. And जिसको बाकी वो कहते हैं यार आप business कर लो, आप economics पढ़ लो, भाई उनको वो भी नहीं चाहिए होगा शायद. So my problem, and then problem is इनकी grades determine our admissions in university, and then and university में कुछ नहीं पढ़ा जाता. Like if you ask people why, if you ask industries, why do they hire from LUMS IBA? Not because their curriculums are great. It's because they know the best kids went there. So for them, the universities are a filtering system, not about knowledge. So most knowledge is taught. It's not for work. And then some people argue that, well, knowledge should be for the sake of knowledge. And I understand that. But the problem in Pakistan is that education is not free. So if parents are investing money, what are they getting out of it? Nothing but a degree. A thappa, O-levels kiya, A-levels kiya, inter kiya, metric kiya. And since I started teaching, the pool of people doing O-levels and A-levels has increased many folds. So वो तो बढ़ भी रहा है फिर भी. My goal is to that if this platform, my real goal, but the कसम से goal ये है कि make so much A-level O-level content eventually, and people replicate that for inter-metric. India में तो कर ही रहे हैं कि ये सब चीज़ों के पैसे लेना लोग ख़त्म कर दें because ये free हो गया अब. So then the schools start investing money in the education that is really important because ये तो free हो गया अब. तो सुबह से बच्चा क्लास में क्या करे जाके? Then you teach him humanity, citizenship. Then you teach him how to take care of their adults, how to take care of this country. We've all forgotten that. Like literally, like it is so simple. As long as you're good to the next human being and want the best for them, that's all life is about. And I am such a flawed individual, but sometimes when I do that, people ask me, like you're asking me, why are you doing this? I mean, dude, because it's the right thing to do. Like, isn't it the right thing to do?
No, it is.
So how hard is it to do?
But
एक तो हमारे मुल्क में लोग skeptical हो गए हैं कि यार अच्छा काम क्यों नहीं कर सकते?
और उसमें कोई शक नहीं है. लेकिन जो बात ये है कि अभी you have a major chunk of your kids of the children in Pakistan who are also not working towards becoming, who are not told or taught to become better individuals, but are taught कि यार पढ़ लिख लो ताकि फिर तुम हमारी जो माली हालात है वो तुम बेहतर कर सको.
Because उनको
वो भी एक फैक्टर आ जाता है.
पढ़ लिख लो तो बात आपकी सही है, लेकिन वो क्या पढ़ लिख लो उनके हाथ में नहीं है ना. अगर माँ बाप बोलते हैं पढ़ लिख लो, द स्कूल्स तो माँ बाप नहीं चलाते. दे डोंट नो स्कूल में क्या पढ़ाई होती है. उनको पता है बेटा पढ़ लेगा, उसका मैट्रिक में अच्छा रिजल्ट आएगा, इंटर जाएगा अच्छा रिजल्ट आएगा, यूनिवर्सिटी चला जाएगा, यूनिवर्सिटी के बाद नौकरी मिलेगी तो हमें संभालेगा या मुल्क संभालेगा. नौकरी और संभालना, दैट्स द एंड गोल. इसलिए बोलते हैं पढ़ लो. इसलिए तो वो जब when you can replace the need for A level and O level and inter with the need for how to communicate better, how to collaborate better, how to be more sustainable in your living in this set, so that will automatically pick up. You will see already, I see it, the last 10 years versus now, the kids that I teach are much more concerned about what's thrown out the window. Literally more concerned about their own city, more concerned about how we treat people. So they seem to be more woke, which is a word I hate, but it's there. It just seems like it. So you know what? And the world is making them feel shit if they're not woke. So you know what? It's actually cool to be woke now. So let's just
instill that.
Yeah, and cash that right now. It's the perfect time to be doing this kind of stuff.
Right.
10 years ago, I'd be like, hey. It's like, yeah. And yes, it's social capital. I like being appreciated for something I'm doing. The high of saying, sir, I loved your lectures online. It's like, you should try that. It's awesome.
No, I have. With tuition guys, I it's not like I got tons of messages. But I understand that you feel good. You feel warm all of a sudden. Because someone just saw your effort that you put in as well.
Yeah.
वो भी एक element आता है. But now, Abhi, what you're talking about, real education.
Yeah.
Right? Education, not...
Actually, the education के 2-3 areas है ना. Education में you got to learn the skills to get a job.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to live in this community and society.
Right.
And you also have to learn for the sake of learning.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these are education. Reading a book today is education, like anything. Understanding how the society works in your culture, and your culture also works. And people don't know that. I mean, I was talking to you the other day about BBC and how awesome stuff they do about preserving their culture and humanity and sciences as a media company. Yeah. We don't do any of that stuff. We only do stuff that is going to get you ads. Yeah. It's not like BBC gets too many ads. The government funds it. Right. They've made Planet, Blue Planet, Planet Earth. इतनी है कि I lost count. Yeah. The next one is the sexiest sounding one. 7 worlds, 1 planet. And I can't wait for that to come out. But they're
putting an effort into it.
That's education too. It doesn't have to happen in classes only. Yeah. Sorry. No. So, so that is there. So, high stakes exam is one thing. These what do you call them? These A levels, O levels. My job, that's something I can solve. I had one hammer. The hammer was I know how to teach A levels. Yeah. I'll use that to solve whatever problem comes up, which is that make all of this free. Yeah. So once I've done that, then I can divert attention to saying, oh, now we have all this money in education, let's put it somewhere else. Yeah. We don't have to do this. We can do something else. Right. My job is to convince schools, and if I can't convince them by my own words, then they'll see the result. If enough kids are going to say to schools, you know what, your teachers, I'm like, I'm here for other things because I got my learning online. That's the goal. And kids who can't afford to travel across Karachi for an hour, paying A-level fees, which are pretty high these days. Right. All schools are pretty high. Right. Because the teachers need to be paid that much money. And then all of that. It's a whole cycle. And then, so this cuts that out. And then other things you can focus. Then the parents can put their money in other skills. Like, I was looking at this yesterday. There's a school called Global Online Academy. What they do is, it's a conglomerate of 12 or 15, the first 12 high schools who started teaching the course online. So other schools who are in any part of the world can take that course. So there's a 12-week course in filmmaking. Yeah. There's a 12-week course in intro to psychology. एक वो पढ़ा रहा है, and every kid in that member school can just take that course online. Right. And it's accredited by also the same places universities accredit. Right. That's where we're going towards. So the data is in online, and so you spend more time in those one-on-one relationships. The interpersonal relationships. Yeah, look at the A-level classes now. Like, it's an insult if we tell them my class is not 50 kids. People think that. So they're becoming lectures. So if they're going to become lectures, they might as well be video lectures. Right. And then smaller classes or one-on-one interactions when you can help them, motivate them. Right. Kids are dying to be motivated. Right. Literally.
Yeah, everyone's looking for a hero.
Yeah, look at... I remember, we were there, I don't know if you were there at Cedar's graduation.
Yeah, it was.
Salman, our teacher at Cedar.
Largest audience of applause.
Absolutely. Why? Because he motivates, he gets them to understand life is more than just a grade. Yeah. And he's awesome at that. And he gives kids hope that life can change. And I'm thinking, I salute him for that.
Right.
And he doesn't care only about the grades. Yes, he'll get grades. And grades are important, but they aren't the end of the world. Who cares? How many kids have asked you for your A-level result? How many people in your industry right now have asked you for your A-level result?
Just the kids I teach only. To be honest.
It's only the kids that you teach care about. That's it. Nobody else in the world cares about grades, man. But we do. So that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's important, but not the end of the world. And so I want to... I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
See, I can't deny it. So the education will become digitized.
Right.
Either I let it go by me and let it get digitized, or I do it myself. If it's going to happen, might as well do it.
Right.
So in a selfish way, be the first one there.
Right.
So you can say, hey, look, I'm the first one here.
Right.
Ego bhi aata hai usme? Absolutely. The drive to do it, entrepreneurship, yes, I want to do this first.
Right.
All entrepreneurship doesn't have to be about making money.
Right.
It's about solving a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, a business case is made about how to make money from there.
Right.
Yeah. So there might be a business case. You might say that, oh, you know what, I'll do all of this stuff. And in the end, I was like, you know what? But I'll still teach 3 classes of 20 kids each. And I charge tremendous amounts of money.
Yeah.
So everybody has the free lectures, and those who can afford it can come to me for one-on-one or personal help.
Right.
So I'll still make money. And my content...
But then those one-on-one lessons also become an opportunity for adopting a more diverse experience.
Absolutely.
Well.
You can do more things. You have stuff recorded already. You can add on to that also. So I don't know where this is going, and that's okay. I don't have to know the end goal.
Yeah.
I know I need to do this now before anybody else does it. And that's what an entrepreneur does many times. You don't know what the end goal is going to be.
Right.
You can get on the bandwagon now.
Right.
And you keep trying and you nudge it in the areas you want to go.
Right.
Instead of just letting it go by.
Right.
That's what I'm doing right now. Because everybody else is trying to make money off of this. I'm like, the best thing to do is do it for free. You can't lose. Everybody's going to charge, even if it's not the highest quality content, it's for free.
Yeah.
People can at least try it out, right?
Yeah.
And then over time it becomes better and better and better. Sorry. So
something you made me read one of Tim Ferriss's books, Tools of Titans, and usme I opened up one of the chapters about mindfulness, and he went to Rick Rubin and Chase Jarvis, who said, "What do you have to lose?" So I think that's also very apt over here in the step you're taking as well. What do you have to lose?
Nothing. Exactly.
If
By doing
anything,
this, some money, and that's right. But to me, money has been an object to let me do something else.
Right.
It's something I'm not going to hold on to.
Yeah.
So I made some money. I can use it for vacations, and I'm like, it doesn't make me happy.
Yeah.
I tried that last year. Took 6 vacations last year. And I would still get back, and the next day I was like,
you dread it.
What am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
But the last 6 months, Abhi has been the most exciting time of my life.
You've hardly traveled.
I've hardly traveled. And that part was only fun because of my daughter. Literally, it was like,
it was more like a family get-together kind of a thing.
Absolutely. But uske alawa, I didn't feel like going. Every day is a holiday. Every day is exciting. I'm not stressed. And there are other things involved. Why am I doing? But this part is bloody exciting.
Yeah.
Hair-raising exciting. Because it's not that is the end goal. The free online education for A-levels is not the end goal.
Right.
It's what needs to be done to get to the next thing, which is the teaching and learning we need to actually provide our kids. In small bits and pieces, skill-based learning, future learning. And where you don't just do lip service to these things, because in the end, syllabus khatam karna hai.
Yeah.
No. Wo ho raha hai online video se. Now you have all this day, you have 6 hours a day to teach the kid something he wants to learn.
Yeah.
Not something that he's going to go home and learn anyways.
Yeah.
So whatever. And honest to God, if we've done the math, I've done my math of video hours and all that stuff. It'll take about 3,000 minutes of lectures to record AS.
Right.
3,000 minutes, if you do them, it's like 50 hours of lectures. Literally, that means in 2 months, 1 hour a day, the kid has done the whole syllabus ka theory. Questions and, all that stuff. You can do that at home, practice and all that stuff. But it's possible. And so he has all this free time. He can rewind a lecture, read again, skip through lectures. I get this. I don't have to wait for him to finish all this stuff. So the freeing up of the kid's time and the parents' money gives you now we have this money, we can actually save some for ourselves and invest in other kinds of education.
Yeah.
And so things like what people like I know Fahim Abbas is doing is awesome.
Yeah.
We know what he's doing. Some future skills courses and college readiness and all that. And then that kind of stuff will kick off. Kids will take time out to learn these things online. How many kids do we know right now are taking gap years to take these online courses?
The entire department last year, 2 years ago did, yeah.
There you go, then.
For those listening, it's Sir Bilal got me to set up the digital media and communications department at Cedar. And along with me were 3 other individuals who they all know who they are, all gap year students. Yeah.
No shout out to them.
Ali, Zainab, Morse, thank you. We miss you. But honestly speaking, it was a lot of fun, lad.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
those were fun days.
Yeah, I think you had more fun that year than even I did. So you know what? I'm jealous.
I think I was just like ready to like kill it, man. You know.
It was fun. It was fun times.
So, I actually want to ask you a little bit about your own little what do I call it? Personal brand. You've started off your own series on YouTube.
Yeah.
You are pretty active on Instagram as well.
Yeah. I was actually, the thing is, I want to become marketing wise or branding wise, I wanted to be a little more selfish.
Yeah.
Many times I was doing a lot of things to create somebody else's brand.
Right.
Some organization's brand, and Cedar ho gaya, Nixor tha pehle, Ivy tha, tuition centers the Q tha. I was like, you know what? Let me selfishly make my brand.
Yeah.
And because what was happening was, and why? Because for the first time I realized that, I truly believe that I am actually bigger than anything that I've set up. And maybe it's too cocky for people to hear it from me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make myself believe it, that, you know what, I am bigger, or for me, I am at least. Or people around me, or for me, myself, I'm bigger than the brands I've created.
Right.
Or the setups that I've done. And yes, they have probably, maybe it's a stupid thing to say.
No,
but for myself, I wanted to be more than just the 3 brands or the businesses that I've set up.
Yeah.
And I wanted people to know that. Because, and it's also selfishly selfless, or the other way around, because in the last 1 year I have learned so much from mentors across the world who have done this, put themselves out there for everybody to judge, learn from, with their problems also,
and making themselves super vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And now with that point, actually,
so that's what I was doing.
And so you also have watched a significant amount of Casey Neistat and Gary Vaynerchuk and
Timothy Ferris,
Seth Bhai,
Seth Godin, Seth Bhai,
yeah,
our guru,
Shri
Seth Godin,
Shri Seth Godin,
with his yellow glasses,
yeah,
very
or sometimes
cute.
purple also.
I know.
Fun fact: he has custom-made glasses, so no one will have those colors.
Really?
Yeah. I think no, I don't know where I had that from. I think it's you.
Well,
only.
I'm sure he can afford custom.
yeah. Seth Godin, man. Yeah.
Jack Ma,
yes.
Derek Sivers.
Mhm.
Now that I've learned from him, I mean,
Jim Collins as well.
Jim Collins,
Peter Drucker.
Peter Drucker. Great lives.
Yeah.
Great lives.
And a lot of people to be looking up to. And there are these books on leadership which you've given me to read as well, these articles that you've given. And much of it is also about the person itself.
Yeah.
What are you doing for yourself? I understand that, creating all these businesses, taking up this online initiative also that you are now doing. It's much of it comes from your own awareness of a lack of something, right? Much of it comes in to fill in a need, and also it's for self-fulfillment, as you mentioned that we weren't happy. What are you doing to keep yourself grounded?
Actually putting myself out there. When you put your videos out there for people to watch, it's actually very humbling. You are now taking the risk for the whole world to judge you. Think about this. Our teachers our industry is very, very sensitive.
Right.
They don't even let anybody come in and evaluate your class.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, here's my lecture and all of its flaw, I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
Make fun of it, crack jokes, whatever with some of them have their own bad words in them.
Yeah.
Because I was unfiltered pehle. And my teaching was also a mix of mainly English, but some Urdu coming in also. So putting myself out there, I was like, and in 6 months, there was hardly any negative feedback.
Right.
And it's not about all positive feedback, it's just that people didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't bother them too much of all the
Like
flaws.
you saw the ticker of views going up with not much engagement. So you were like,
People are watching this, but they're not concerned about the quality or गलती मैंने क्या किया, गलतियाँ होंगी.
right.
But that, I was like, that's nice. It was just the decision to put it out there was humbling. Okay, I'm just flawed here.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about being perfect.
Right.
And now, in the world around YouTube, nobody knows how popular I am.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I am pretty popular as a chemistry teacher in Karachi. That's a great bubble to be in. But putting yourself on YouTube
You're
was actually, I'm
global
back
now.
to day one of being starting all over again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, this is new kid on the block. But I'm not a new kid on the block online. Online I am.
Yeah.
But in the world of A-level chemistry in Pakistan, I've been doing this for 18 years, 17 years. So that is like me it's like a rebirth.
Yeah.
And you're starting out from scratch all over again,
Yeah.
making my claim on this platform where nobody knows me. And that's been great. I've been able to take time out for my health. I have been sleeping better,
Yeah.
giving myself 7 to 8 hours every day, and it has made a massive amount of difference in my crankiness, my mood.
Yeah.
I am not letting things bother me as much.
Very good.
Things that I used to bother. I mean, every little thing at every place I'm at would bother me, and I'm trying to not think about those.
Right.
If I think about those, they might bother me, but I'm trying not to think about those.
Right.
I am eating healthy. I literally, like, it's not a cliche. Every month I said, okay, Jan, I gotta quit smoking. Feb, I started eating healthy. March, or towards the end of Feb, I started going to the gym.
Right.
So tuck. In March, I made my videos. Then I started delegating my task more. I now try to use my laptop, my phone, my desktop, my iPad as less as possible.
And you know, that's something that really stood out for me, seeing that transition.
Yeah, because I was the guy who was on my laptop for at least 10 hours a day.
And
that too, like...
And you were relearning your own self also in that whole process. Like for people listening and who don't know who I am or who he is, I've been with him.
Second. We'll get people to listen to this who don't know you or me.
You never know. This might just become like the biggest thing on YouTube tomorrow. When it
Can I
comes
share
up.
my email address with people then?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Plug in. No, but it's so I've known Bilal bhai since I was 19. He never taught me in school. I've just helped him with one of his startups, Cedar College, and after university, been with him as his sidekick. I'd like to think I'm like the Robin to his Batman, or vice versa. But
okay.
no, but
It's okay.
It's okay. I've seen you just like, you know, go to class, coffee आ रही है, class, office, break के बाद वापस class, troubleshooting, रात के 10-11 बजे तक आप ऑफिस में बैठे हुए, just to go home to make sure that you're doing more legwork of your role as a dean or as a teacher, and I saw it like killing you. But
But I'm also almost doing this. I'm not doing much less work. Yes, it might seem.
But it's not about doing less work. It's about
less
how, it's about how I've seen that your perspective has changed, how your approach towards have
Massively.
changed on it.
Massively.
And that's something that, like, props to you at almost reaching 40. Right? And you have just relearned so many different things. Accepting your flaws is the most important thing right now for you to have to move forward.
I have realized all the things I've done wrong in that role, in that here, in that here, in that here. And it's just when you look at it from your own unbiased eye
Yeah.
and not somebody else. You don't want to hear from anybody else because everybody else's opinion is also a little biased about for themselves or whatever else.
Yeah.
It's not always. But when you can understand it from your own point of view, it's just... कहते हैं ना वही नाज़िर होने का clarity मिल जाती है इस तरह. I'm not saying it is, but it is as eye-opening as that. And it's like, and then liberating. And then I can make all these mistakes and still life can be okay. And then you start looking at people, how they do what they do.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky to meet a lot of great friends in person and online.
Yeah.
I mean, friends who don't even know that they're my friends. They're because they're like mentors, like the names we named earlier.
Yeah.
And then, I reconnected with my very old friend, Farhan Latif. He was a childhood friend. On and off on iMessages we talk. He's doing great work in the US in social work. And then Tausif, you also met him.
Yeah.
Athar Qadri's brother, Tausif Qadri. Athar Qadri is with us at Cedar.
Yeah.
The guy's awesome. And, and he's just too cool. And he's had a great influence on me. Positive.
Right.
Really positive. My own child, her happiness, this little school, seeing kids grow up and enjoy themselves here, gave me belief that education can be fun.
Yeah.
And fulfilling also, and enjoyable also. And so, So thanks. I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
But the beauty is now that the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know of yourself even.
Yeah.
And so it's just, the ride has just begun. I swear to God. It's like I'm reborn, like my shedding my old skin like a lizard, and
Yeah.
I'm not a good animal to give an example of, but you shed your skin and it's a new thing. And,
Snake.
No, even worse, man.
Yeah.
Please.
But
That's not a good analogy.
so
Yeah.
this is actually interesting because lately I've something has been bothering me a lot, and that's about. I'll be a little crass about this.
Mm-hmm.
You said that there was. You mentioned that there was a lot of things which you were bothered by easily, and now you take a step back and you actualize it a little bit first. So from basically giving too much of a shit to giving less of a shit.
Yeah, because
did
me
that-
giving shit was not improving things. So I was like, you know what? Why give a shit?
Yeah.
And I sort of like I stopped. I just figured out a way for those things to not trigger me. It's just that I really just thought, you know what? It's someone else's problem. It's not my problem. This is not. I can't fix this. So why argue about this?
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So something like that. Yeah, I don't know what exactly happened that gave me that perspective. But the one next thing I want to try it, and it's a buzzword, but I want to try it, is mindfulness. Sam Harris, this is a neurologist, has been listening to this podcast. That's the next thing I'm starting in my things of, and I've learned to experiment on my own self and my own mind through what Tim Ferriss has talked about.
Yeah.
And then how he's seen him try it. So I was like, you know what, let me try this.
Some apps also.
Yeah, Waking Up. Sam Harris's app. If you guys haven't tried it, you should try it. I am not his affiliate. I don't get any money from this. There is no samharris.com/Bilal for a link.
For a code for promo code. 10% off.
No, but it's actually, try it out. I've tried a few classes from them.
Yeah.
They're about 5 free and then you got to pay. But you try the 5 free. They're brilliant. Meditation. Science-based meditation. And there is also other forms of meditation that I've been reading. Listening to smart people.
Yeah.
Adam Robinson lately, I told you about.
Yeah.
Tim Ferriss and Dr. Peter Attia, this other sleep scientist. I heard him and I realized how much of a ass I've been to my own body. And so reclaiming my body to be a little more healthier so I can live longer, to see the change I want to see for my own daughter in this world.
Right. And when you mentioned Adam Robinson,
Yes.
what's his name? I saw in your last video, which came out after some time from the preceding one. You mentioned.
But now you know what I was doing.
I know, yeah. I thought I know all the answers that you also said.
No, guys, we did not rehearse this before. It's just that he's been around too much.
Yeah.
I need new
For his own
friends.
good.
I need new friends.
But you mentioned a movie which we also saw together.
I know.
Molly's Game.
Really, I need new
We
friends.
saw that movie together. But I know, but उसमें basically बात आई थी about morals and असूल and अपने बात पे कायम रहना.
Yeah.
ये सीन क्या है? Like
यार उसकी तो बात मुझे बहुत दिल पे लगी, पता है. और यार the problem in our society is that, like, and if you look at the movie, her lawyer could not understand when she had an easy way out by being right. She had an easy way out. She still didn't take the easy way out because of her word.
Right.
And I am doing, like, you were skeptical about this online platform.
yeah.
And everybody I tell things to is, most people are skeptical. नहीं भैया आपका angle क्या है इसमें?
Right.
Like, nobody can just accept for the fact. I mean, and we have become so, the world has made us such pessimistic.
Yeah.
They've made us doubt everything that we
Yeah.
can't just, like, heard that movie. The lawyer could not understand why wouldn't she take the damn deal. She is in debt. She is going to jail for 20 years. She has nothing going on for her. Her family hates her, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And she still won't take the deal to put not anybody, but just mafia in jail.
Yeah.
But she said, my name is all I have. I'm not going to rat on people. Even though the ratting were on the wrong people and she could do that and all that, but and saying it sounds stupid, but when the lawyer saw her over months and days, how she lived her life, it made sense to her.
But there's a fine line also between doing the right thing is always the right thing.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You know, it's
Yeah,
that's
I've
a
heard
debate
it.
that I also don't want to get into.
Okay.
But it is something which I thought was very striking. Okay, through and through, you always mention, even in your own videos, and I'm sure in class you also mention, about just being, having your morals and principles intact.
You can never be 100% right. So when you say that there's a line, fine
Yeah.
line, you know what? Everybody draws their fine line somewhere else, and you can't judge who draws their line where. And I'm sorry, I don't know these fine lines. Ki kahan meri hai. I can't sit and contemplate beforehand. When it happens, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, at that moment, what do I do? But everybody pushes their limits
Right.
to somebody will compromise very early, somebody will compromise later, and the person you are a year ago will compromise at a different stage than the person you are today. Also, that also changes. So I can't fault people for being whatever they are.
Yeah.
I can only fault myself.
Right.
So now I'm only bothered about how much, and that still is a debate in my head. Because at times where I don't always do what she did. I don't always stick to my principles. I also know that I'm flawed. That's I gotta live with that in my head.
Yeah.
And sometimes people can say, but you mean the right thing, and you mean well, or people can say that to themselves.
Yeah.
Or that's the best you could do in that situation. Yeah, we could say all that we want to ourselves.
Right.
So I don't know, okay, what fine line kya hai or wo kya hai. I just we make mistakes as long as we keep trying. The goal is not to figure it out. The goal is to keep on trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And you will know it inside you.
Yeah.
What is the right thing?
Right.
You don't have to be told what the right thing is.
Instinctually, you'll find out.
Our instincts come from millions of years of evolution. Human laws and societies are not even 10,000 years.
Yeah.
So you know what? Logical thinking is not always perfect.
Right.
So your instincts count for a lot.
Yeah.
And trust me, I've been able to use my instincts for my advantage in business for so long. And I've been more than ever, I've been proved right versus wrong. So you know what?
Yeah.
I will go by my instincts. If it doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
I want to do it. If it feels great, yeah.
And it's as simple as that. It just doesn't feel right.
That's
Alright. Okay. So, 2 more questions, very short questions.
Yeah.
I promise I'm not going to take too much of your time now.
Yeah.
Out of you love giving books to people, and you also love keeping books with you, getting books. But what is that one book that you've acquired which you always go back to?
You see, I know this is a great question to ask because I keep thinking about it. But I can't tell you that right now. The funny thing is, you do know me personally.
Yeah.
But there are 2 different things: buying books and reading books.
Yeah.
And I've been a book buyer for a long time.
Yeah.
I've only been a real avid book reader the last 1 year.
Right.
And no book I've read more than once.
Right.
But I do know this. From all the books that I've read, the one book that I'd want to read again and again is called Anything You Want by Derek Sivers. The problem is that book is not available in Pakistan.
Okay.
If it was, I would give it out to everybody I know.
Really?
Yeah. But as you know, the way you said, how do you give out your books? What I do, what I do. I download my books
Yeah.
and I just share with them.
Right.
Oh, I can't say that on camera. No, I don't do that. I give them physical copies. But if I can bind that book, Derek Sivers, Anything You Want, it's something that I really enjoyed. And that book is everlasting. It can hit you any day.
Right.
Like wherever you went through. It's about setting up your own business. But why would you do that? And all those things that why he did for himself. So
And it's about the human element behind it.
this is a book. I showed it to you. I'll give it to you. It's sitting at home.
Please do.
Yeah, I want to save it. But I'll give it to you.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Last question is.
Last? Have you done already?
No.
Okay, yeah, I gotta go home.
Yeah. Please,
We may do a part 2 of this next year.
yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Or maybe 2 months from now. But what is the one thing that you'd wish you'd have known growing up? Or it could have been, I know from what it seems like also you have evolved year by year over the past so many years.
Yeah.
But what is
I
that
don't
one
know.
lesson that you can think of? Or one message you'd like to even say to me directly, that something that, is missing in many people?
Missing in many people, what is that? We don't trust each other very easily. I'd rather trust and be hurt by people breaking my trust. And I'm okay with that. Than to doubt people and be skeptical of. Because when you're skeptical, you put a wrong foot forward and then there is no magic in that connection.
Right.
But if the first time you meet somebody, you trust everything they're going to say.
Yeah.
That lets you have that magic. And many times, they will not break that trust. But agar hota hai kabhi kabar, it's okay. You move on. There's nothing wrong with that. But people need to learn to trust more. Yeah, I know the world is evil, but it's a cyclic problem. If you don't trust anybody else, they won't trust you, and then nobody trusts each other.
Right.
But if you start trusting and more people, they will say, oh, he trusts me, I should not break his trust, so I'll trust him back. And then the cycle continues. That's what.
Right.
What I would rather have told myself now, what I've learned, one thing I've learned is I should not have started smoking. Second thing, take care of your body. You need it for life.
Yeah.
You need, and sleep more. Sleep more, take care of your body. That something, everything else, all the mistakes I'm glad I made. You're not glad that you make mistakes, but you learn from those mistakes. But not taking care of your body and not taking care of your sleep is not a mistake you can recover from.
Right.
My cells have died. I'm going to die earlier than most people
Yeah.
who would have taken care of their body when they was 19, 20.
Yeah.
Their health, their sleep, and your brain. So all that is the physical part of that. I wish I could go back and tell myself that. Nothing else I would change, because I do not know if I change anything in my life at any point, my life would be different. This is the best version of my life, because it's the only version of the life I know, and I like it right now. So I would not want to change a single mistake, a single bad thing, a single loss, a single heartbreak, none of that. Otherwise, it would change when I am, and I would not know if it would be better or worse than this. But it is much better than it could be right now, so I would not want to change that.
Right.
But the health part, yes.
All right.
That's what I would tell people.
So-
Take care of your body.
All
It's
right.
the only one you have.
This is the only one you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Lovely doing this, love.
On that note, I'll end this one once again. Thank you for your time.
Anytime.
That was the second episode of Behind the Grind. My name's Asad Hashim. With me, I had Mr. Bilal Hamid. And hopefully, you will be seeing more episodes like this where I just get in depth with the guest, figuring out what motivates them, figuring out why they're doing what they're doing, and just get to learn more about their grind. So see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye-bye. Peace out.